Wild, dude. Wild. I would never personally. And the volcano's going off. The beginning of a volcanic eruption right behind them as he's proposing. Today we are bringing some of the biggest trends straight to you. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels and welcome back to the Clenversations channel where we take a look at all things trending. Guys, we have a lot to talk about, whether it's just a streaming service, blocking celebrities, you want to talk about why the portal got closed down, it's because of an OF model. Guys, if you'd like to skip to any part of the video, timestamps will be there if you'd like to skip to any particular topic. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Let's get straight into it. So guys, I want to start off with something that kind of took, I don't want to say the internet by storm for like an hour maybe. So Disney Entertainment, Warner Bros. Discovery announced Disney Plus Hulu Max bundle. So this is going to be a major streaming platform. And again, of course, I got very excited for this myself, but then I realized, hey, I'm in Canada and we don't have nice things in Canada, but for those of you who do have this available to you, perhaps this is something that you would want to take a look into. Very quick topic for today, but that was something that took over the Explore page on Twitter. I wanted to include that. And guys, like I said, if you're new on this channel, or I meant to say, if you are new to this channel, the only thing that we avoid here is I take a look at, of course, all things that are trending, but the only things that we avoid is stuff that's not YouTube friendly, stuff that's typically political. Don't get me wrong, I would love to dive into politics and all things going on there, but hey, I'm trying to make a living off of this right here, so I'm going to play it completely safe. I'm grateful to be on your platform, YouTube, but guys, let's continue on. Now, guys, I want to bring you over to Blockout 2024. This has actually died down just a little bit, but honestly, for the day that it was live, for the last maybe few days that it was live, it really was trending absolutely everywhere, because after the Met Gala, the public seemed to have decided that celebrities have too much. They're sick of celebrities walking around like they're better than everybody, and while I will say I disagree with this point, but a lot of people are upset that celebrities have more than them and don't share their wealth. I disagree with that personally, but people have been doing it for all sorts of reasons. I want to bring you to this TikTok, and it's something that we took a look at an individual video, and this guy runs a Blockout 2024 account, and it kind of encapsulates why a lot of people are blocking celebrities right now. So I'll let this play. I'll stop it and react to it just a little bit. So of course, we don't end up getting copyrighted on this channel over here. So that way we can use a clip. I need to talk over it. I know I get a couple comments here and there about hey, why don't you let the full video play? I can't. I'm not allowed to use it if that's the case. So apologies for that, but let's take a look at this TikTok.
I got some feedback that I sound a little crazy just screaming about blocking people. So I thought I'd explain why I'm blocking people. I've explained in my previous videos how this concept works of blocking a celebrity and controlling their income. But it's 2024, there's a lot of things going wrong in our world, and I think it's important to talk about them.
But this is the thing, a lot of people are expecting celebrities to use their platform to talk about all of these issues that people really want spread about. Now, don't get me wrong, it would be nice if celebrities use their platform to talk about issues, but I think it's horrible to bully these celebrities into talking about different things. Like, for example, something that I looked at in another video is Lizzo. All of the sudden, after all of this, people getting blocked, she made a post saying, hey, just so you guys know, I'm donating to support this cause. I don't think it's right to bully celebrities into spending their money. You wouldn't want somebody to do that to you. Don't do that to celebrities. That's how I feel about it. But again, it would be nice if they did that. I'm just saying that we shouldn't force anybody into doing stuff that they don't want to.
When you have millions of followers that look at your content every single day, you have an opportunity to make very important change in our world.
Opportunity being the key word, not obligation.
And to actively not do that every single day, but instead selfishly promote your own products is kind of shallow.
But this is where I'm coming from it. You don't think that any single one of you, everybody, you don't get me wrong, maybe 1 out of 100 people watching that video, if they got famous, they'd be doing the same thing, trying to sell their stuff, just worrying about their own clout, not worrying about what issue is going on in the world. Everybody acts so virtuous, man, but if they were in the celebrity's shoes, you just know that they wouldn't share anything.
This is a great opportunity to go and support underground music artists, support small businesses, go look towards those people who don't have that attention because celebrities are taking it from them.
And I love that. I'm always for supporting small businesses, I'm always for supporting underground artists. I absolutely love that.
And support them instead. There's so many great causes and organizations that we can donate to and make a difference in this world. Don't give your attention to lazy celebrities.
Now, as you can see, there's a really mixed bag with that, but that kind of encapsulates the majority of people. I would say personally, the people that are blocking celebrities, there's a bunch of different reasons. I would say, I could be wrong about this, but from what I've seen online, it's mostly stemming from people, I don't know how to put this because I can put it in a rude way, which the rude way is somebody has more than me, give me money, you know? Unfortunately, people are coming from that perspective. I just don't get it, man, because I feel like I have to speak to everybody like children, where it's like, okay, well, would you want to be forced to give your money? Hey, you watching this video right now, I'm sure you have a job. I'm sure you have some money to your name. I have less than you. Can I have $100? You may not be able to afford that, and you might be coming back, and I can already see the comments where it's something along the lines of, oh, well, these celebrities like J-Lo wouldn't even notice $1 million out of the bank. They wouldn't even notice $100 out of the bank. It doesn't matter. It's their money. It's their money. I bet you wouldn't notice $2 out of your bank. You wouldn't notice it. It would be so nice if celebrities helped people. It'd be so nice if they spoke up about certain causes. That would be amazing, but they shouldn't be forced to. And don't get me wrong, and this is something that I've expressed in another video. If you guys want to hear my expanded thoughts on this, I made a whole video talking about this entire situation of Blockout 2024, but I think it's hilarious that there are a lot of celebrities out there just... They just can't stand the fact, like J-Lo, for example. You all saw that clip of J-Lo, right? Where the one where, hey, J-Lo, what are you wearing? You know, she looks at the girl like that and just looks at her like she's a peasant, right? I think it's hilarious that these people are going crazy, that people are blocking them. But the way that it is now, you know a lot of celebrities that actually do nice things on their own time. Let them separate themselves from the horrible people at the top, you know? I think a lot of people are in this blocking thing for the wrong reason, and there are good things and bad things about it. It's just, it's not going to last either way, to be honest with you. But anyways, guys, let's move on to the next topic. This topic is a little bit crazy to me, in my opinion. It's over on the Unilad. So this US model slams improper use of weight loss drugs as another way to keep it up with the toxic standard of beauty. And you guys got to hear this because it's absolutely insane. In this article, I've read it all. It goes on and on about typically using drugs. It dives in, like you can see how long it goes for, and that's not what we're going to be taking a look at today, but it dives more into drug use. But take a look at this, okay? Because this model, again, was speaking out about it, right? Now, to keep up with the toxic standard of beauty. And this model, I'm not familiar with who this model is over here. Mia Kang, maybe you guys do. I don't particularly know who that is, but regardless. So, take a look at this. It has gained popularity due to its ability to promote weight loss by mimicking glucagon-like peptide 1, GLP-1. Our bodies naturally produce GLP-1 after we eat, which slows the emptying of the stomach, stops us from eating more, and stimulates insulin release from the pancreas. One of the main reasons it supports weight loss is because it reduces your appetite while you continue to take it. And this girl goes on and on, and the article goes on about why the people are kind of not necessarily forced to take this, but they are suggested to take it by society because of the unrealistic beauty standards of today. People are turning to things like drugs and turning into eating disorders to just get thin because society is telling us how thin we're supposed to be. I personally think that's ridiculous from a perspective, but we'll get on to that in just a little bit. But over here, I want to bring you to one more part of the article. Speaking to Unilad, Mia said, "We live in a society that has told us that thinner is better. Being a woman in today's society filled with filters, Photoshop, Facetune, cosmetic procedures, and rapid changing trends, it's really hard to not feel the pressures for modern day beauty standards. For over a decade, I was a sample size model, size 2 to 4 US in magazines, runways, on billboards, etc. And I was living with eating disorders and doing and taking anything I could to keep up with the toxic standard of beauty that I was a part of." Who is the person or the people telling women to get the thinner, the better? Yeah, you know what? Being thin is great, but thin, not skeleton-like you see so many of these models are supposed to be. Have you ever talked to a guy before? Have you ever talked to a man before? They will... I'm trying to be YouTube friendly over here, but they'll sleep with anything. That's what I was going to say. They'll sleep with anything. Honestly, if it walks, a guy will sleep with it. Do you know how easy it is for a girl to get a boyfriend? There are no beauty standards for you to be under. The only people comparing themselves to women are other women. Guys look at it and go, okay, yeah, you know what? She's pretty. They might put her on a 1 to 10 scale, but you don't need to, and you're not under pressure by these beauty standards of today. They don't exist. They don't exist. It's just social media. It's just social media telling you that. It's just the things you're reading online. If anybody is telling you that online, that you need to look a certain way, yeah, you know what? Don't look like you're 1,000 pounds. Look healthy. Look healthy, okay? And you could be a little bit thicker, a little bit, keyword being a little bit thicker, and you could still be healthy. I don't understand where this is coming from. Like, look at this girl. Look at this girl. I don't even know what she looks like right now, but this girl does not look like she's on an eating disorder. I just used the complete wrong cut over there. That's the one for breaking down fights. Excuse me, guys. But even this, if this is a picture of her suffering, like, I'm sure she's still not happy with herself right now. But you could take a look at any girl online, man. any girl. I'm gonna try and find her profile. Just give me a second over here, guys. And there you go. Didn't take long. It's completely on her first piece of profile over here. Of course, I would imagine this is when she was modeling, when she was taking drugs, when she was on an eating disorder, and this is her now. If any guy is watching this video, let me ask you, which girl do you prefer? You know what the answer is going to be to every single guy watching this video or every single guy on this Instagram page? Yeah, it's going to be the one not dying. So I was going to sit here and say, like, I'm glad this went viral, but at the same time, it's not even fixing anything because it's just complaining about something like, okay, the beauty standards are ridiculous, but who's making them ridiculous? You got to stop with these beauty standards over here because the beauty standards really don't exist. Like, I don't know if this girl is good continuously, if she just recently started looking like this, but yeah, so she's been relatively normal for a little while now, and she looks like a perfectly normal person. She looks like a perfectly normal person. Like, look at this. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? Like, I don't understand these models, man, and these people who have to... Khalil Roundtree. Hang on. I saw Khalil Roundtree. What an amazing day. Cheers to another spin. No way this is Khalil Roundtree's wife. What? Is it? Oh my god, it's Khalil Roundtree's wife. Dude, I'm a fan of Khalil Roundtree. I follow the UFC, guys. You should subscribe to Clenbat where we take a look. Dude, there's no way. That's hilarious. Oh my god. Guys, that's so funny because I've been watching Khalil Roundtree in the UFC for a very long time, and I didn't know until this second, until I saw Khalil Roundtree. I can't believe I didn't notice him in the pictures. That's so funny. Oh my god, I know that just took a complete different turn, but yeah, Khalil Roundtree, his wife went viral. Khalil Roundtree's fighting soon. Guys, point being is, if you happen to be watching this video, and I know primarily on my other channels my audience is male, except for the exception of maybe Clen, but... these beauty standards are ridiculous. They're probably made up by advertisers to sell you stuff, but any guy will pretty much be happy with you as long as you look relatively healthy. Let's continue on to the next post though, because I spent quite a little bit of a time on that over here. Now, out of everything that was on Reddit, this went the most viral, or one of the most viral posts. Of course, there was a lot, like I said, diving into politics and everything, but timing proposal with the beginning of a volcanic eruption. Take a look at this. I don't know if okay, it looks better like that. Okay, so I have it muted because it's just music, but take a look at this because out of everything that was on Reddit this week, this one was one of the posts that went viral almost. So they had a proposal over here. It's a beautiful moment. It all looks really cool. The guy gets down, like, it's crazy too. You have the clouds over there. Wild, dude. Wild. I would never personally, and the volcano's going off. The beginning of a volcanic eruption right behind them as he's proposing. That's crazy. You know what I'd be thinking about? I'd be thinking about, like, what if you end up dropping the ring? Excuse me. That's a really, really long fall. That's like insane. I don't even know if they're necessarily looking at the volcanic eruption over there, but I mean, why would you, I guess, right? But then again, why wouldn't you? It's a volcano going off. Dude, that's actually like a really sick moment, but at the same time, it's a super, super scary moment. I was about to say, didn't you put the ring on her? Hey, you should be putting the ring on the girl while you're still on your knees, by the way. But, man, that is a nice sight. That's a pretty crazy video if you ask me. What are the chances of that happening? I don't know if it was planned or what, but that's really, really cool. Moving on, guys, I want to continue over to Logan Paul. He's been having some beef with George Janko, and this has been beginning to take the internet by storm a little bit because this story is still unfolding a little bit. Of course, George Janko started his own show, left Impulsive, claimed that he got kicked off, and there's a lot to it. And Logan Paul came out with a video that kind of seemingly disproves everything, and we're going to go through it right now because Logan Paul made a video where he seemed like he brought some receipts, and it looks pretty good from his perspective and doesn't look so good on George Janko's side. And I'm saying this as a guy who is a fan of George Janko. I don't necessarily like Logan Paul, but I've been watching George Janko's podcast more and more, so as a fan of George Janko, it's really tough to defend him on this point, but there is a little bit of an expanding story that's coming out after this, so take a look at this and listen.
My own show because we're not making money on this show, and I'm getting pushed out.
You made money on the show.
I can show you my books. I was spending 10 G's a month being on the show.
All right, let's talk about this. Obviously, I wasn't on the podcast to represent myself, so I'd like to clarify a few things that were said. As well as having his own credit card, all expenses related to the show were paid for, including all travel and lodging. Obviously, George's total reimbursement came out to $20,000, 317 cents. I'd love to
and it gets a little bit worse from here, which is crazy.
See any books that show otherwise. Spending $120,000 a year to be on a show is a little confusing.
This is the guy who's sending us screenshots of $11 million a week that he's making.
This statement is so crazy that it's almost laughable. That would mean I'm making $572 million a year. I'm nowhere near that. What happened was Prime had a very successful month. I think we did like 60 to 70 million, and I sent it to our group chat because I was proud of the business. I was stoked to show the boys, and I think George maybe misinterpreted that as like my personal income.
And this is where I'm stuck on it personally, because don't get me wrong, Logan Paul expands in this video, and Logan Paul really comes with the receipts. He looks like that he's really cornering George, but the problem with this is if you know the two guys, you would know that Logan Paul is a deeply dishonest person and George Janko is more on the honest side. I'm not saying he's a completely 100% honest guy. I like to think that he is personally, but you never know with people, right? But Logan Paul's been proven to be the type of guy that he is. So when he comes in with a bunch of facts like this, I'm sitting back and I'm almost inclined to be like, I don't know, Logan Paul. I don't know about that one because you are a little bit of a liar. But what he's showing is looking like it's true. That's where I'm stuck on this personally. So let me know what you think about this down below.
Hit rock bottom and we weren't getting paid. I was getting paid $5,000 a month.
But you did make a sizable amount of money on the show.
And by the way,
say,
always grateful. I was always grateful
like
for
that?
it. Yeah, I don't like to talk about money.
I know he doesn't want to talk money. I know he believes it out, but George made $317,000 in the 15 months
I hope that's not why George didn't want to talk about money because it was that much.
that he got paid for on Impulsive. The work requirements consisted of about 3 days a month, 3 hours each day, traveling the world, networking, and meeting some of the coolest people ever. It comes out to about $2,300 per hour, and he also had 10% equity of the entire show.
Logan's cooking on this one, dude.
You, not Caleb, not Kevin, not Dylan. Nobody called me when I got fired.
George did not get fired. He quit. I'll touch on that in a second. But after he quit, I called him frequently. I reached out. I wanted to reconcile the friendship. I invited him to my birthday party and WrestleMania.
See, this is where I would like to see George come up with the same thing because it's very easy, of course, to just delete messages or just make that. But if George were to show something otherwise, then I would believe it. But like, it's really, really tough because I'm looking for a reason for Logan Paul to be lying or being dishonest just because of the guy we know him to be. But it really seems like he's telling the truth over here.
And even my ranch a few weeks later, he chose not to come. He also unfollowed all the people he mentioned on Instagram, which is maybe why they didn't call him. I don't know. I can't speak for them, but he still does not follow them to this day.
And then on my birthday, you guys shot 3 episodes, so I couldn't show up.
The 2 episodes he's talking about, not 3, were shot 4 days after George's birthday. His birthday's on January 3rd. We shot those episodes on January 7th. We were already in Vegas signing the UFC to Prime, and as we do, want to capitalize on the location and our use of time and energy and the guests in that city. George didn't come to work because he wanted to spend time with his family for his belated birthday, which I totally understand and we even praised.
One of the things that I love about George, he prioritizes his family and friends over
He's coming with receipts for this one, guys.
anything.
I got my show going, and then not only was I controlled and pushed around on Impulsive, but then Logan's making calls and directing my show. He told me that I couldn't take Celsius.
So this is the big one. Making calls, trying to make it seem like I wanted to control his show is absolutely ridiculous. As you can see right here, I was like, hey, we got to get you Prime because I saw him drinking our competitor, and he told me
Bro, we got to get you on Prime. Don't talk on our competitor. You goose. Call me back. I'd love to tell you something, okay?
call him. He was filming my reaction to tell me he took a deal with a competitor. I told him, please don't film. Like, I'd like to talk about this. I hope you're joking, by the way. The truth is, I thought it was a bad look that my best friend and co-host took a brand deal with our competitor without consulting me.
Now, this one I don't know about because if it was on George's own show, then I don't see a problem with it. But of course, if George was on Impulsive, then I do see a problem with it. But I don't know the full context to that one personally.
Giving us even a chance to match it before he signed the deal, because the audience that he's building, at least at the time, on his own podcast was being funneled directly from the podcast that I was building with him. I said, hey, dude, I understand you need to make money. The entire text is right here that I sent him after our conversation.
Okay, hang on. Totally understand you have to do what you do, and I support your decision. I respect the fact that you're focusing on our platform, and I understand that you pay the bills. I'm sorry Impulsive isn't enough for that. Just like you're looking out for yourself, I have to do the same. My business partners and I don't find it appropriate to promote one of our biggest competitors. I'm excited to watch you build your podcast, and when and if the deal is up and you want to come on Impulsive, the invite is open. I'd like to talk about how to move forward this amicably on social because I'm sure we could avoid the land public back and forth and handle this in a mature way that our 8 years of friendship deserves. We support you, and something, of course, is on top of it. We will always be friends first. This is just a business. I'm excited to see you at WrestleMania at my birthday dinner. Love you. Okay.
Because I did understand his position if he needed to make money, but I thought it was also a little odd because he did make $317,000 in 15 months. Regardless, I did.
Yeah, that one's really tough because that's a sizable amount of money over there. I wonder how much the other brand was actually paying him.
Tell him I can't have him on Impulsive if he's going to take the deal with the competitor, but if after he makes the money he wants to come back to the podcast, he's more than welcome.
Hey man, where
That seems like a nice thing to do, to be honest with you.
you're at, there's no room for you to grow. They won't let you grow. They will not let you grow.
I thought saying that to Mike was a little crazy. He's grown a lot. He has 2.7 million subscribers since we met. He's a multimillionaire, a best-selling author. I tried as much as I could to help him get into those positions, and it's not entirely because of me. Mike is a phenom in his own right, and he capitalized on the platform that I gave him, which is awesome. Just like George is doing now, but if that's not growth, like what is? In fact, I think people forget, like, I praised George for starting a podcast, like, a lot.
Georgie started his own podcast. I think it's a great idea. I always love when my co-hosts venture out and do their own thing.
See, that's the thing where I look can look at Logan Paul and I'm like, I don't know if he's being completely honest with that one.
Congratulations. It's awesome, guys. Check out his podcast.
And also saying they won't let you grow was a little hurtful because I thought at least I helped Mike do some of the things that he did. And I even
Well, yeah, I mean, his co-hosts definitely do grow.
encouraged him to start his own podcast.
I think you should take a page out of Georgie's book and start a show of your own.
There's no greater feeling than watching people you love succeed. I tried to give people around me a platform, and if they capitalize on it, fantastic. Mike and George did. And George will even tell you this off camera. I encouraged him to pursue media and comedy since 2015. I really believe in the kid, and I still do. There's a lot more. I'm not going to get into it, but this isn't to say, by the way, that I didn't fuck up along the way. I did. I should not have mocked his beliefs. I apologize for that. I should have stuck up for him with Bobby Lee, and I definitely should have had his back more like a friend. There's a lot
Okay, but there is the Bobby Lee thing is the big problem and the one that's currently expanding. But here, I'll let the rest of this play out.
things I would have done differently, but here we are. It saddens me that our story has unfolded this way. I wish him nothing but health, wealth, happiness, all the success that he wants, and I hope that one day we can sit down and have a relationship and a conversation.
Now, okay, here is the big problem with that is because this story, like I said, is continuing to expand, and it might expand even more by the time you're seeing this video. So George came out and said one of the biggest reasons was because of Bobby Lee on the show, and Logan said that he should have stuck up more from Bobby Lee, and Logan kind of threatened George with his placement on the show because George couldn't react to Bobby Lee continuously touching him downstairs. That was one of the biggest reasons for everything, but I don't know if that necessarily is to get around everything else that Logan Paul came out and had to say over here. Again, it's really difficult to defend George on this one because I'm a fan of George and I would love to see him expand on this entire topic, but to get upset about somebody touching you inappropriately, especially another guy, like, it's grounds for just beating someone up, right? You can't just sit back and let somebody do that to you. And for Logan to kind of control that, again, I would love to see that expanded a little bit more. But as of right now, Logan Paul came with the receipts, and Logan Paul seems to have the upper hand on this one. Let me know what you think down below. Let's continue on to something else that, unfortunately, I covered in another video. So if you'd like me to hear me expand more about this down below, you can check out on the channel a whole video about this. But the portal to NYC in Dublin has officially been closed, and it's because of an OnlyFans model. So, the internet personality Ava Louise has been identified as the reason behind the permanent closure of the NYC to Dublin portal installation, which streams live footage between the two cities 24/7. The portal, which had been open for just 4 days, shut down after Ava Louise allegedly flashed the camera. Witnesses reported that Ava Louise, known for her controversial actions, exposed herself to the camera in a moment of spontaneity. Yeah, it's just one little moment for her. Sorry, guys. I'm still a little bit sick, so when I start laughing, it kind of comes up a little bit. But anyways, I'll let you watch this video over here. You can see that she is just flashing the camera. She thinks it's a grand old time over there. The guys, of course, love it. And I'm pretty sure there's a delay over there because nobody's really reacting. But it's crazy that there's no security over there. It's just really, really weird to see. And, of course, you can see
The Dublin portal shut down.
oh my god, I got the Dublin portal shut down. Like, of course, it's working. I'm talking about her. The internet's talking about her. She's a reason behind the closure of the portal. And now people are probably going to go subscribe to her OnlyFans. Like, I don't know how many followers she has. I don't know how many she had prior to this over here because as of right now, my face cam, oh, it's not covering it. Okay, so you can see that she has 61.6K followers. I don't know if she got a boost from it, but I would imagine that she got a huge boost from doing that. But it's just crazy. This is why we can't have nice things. And I think that's what I actually titled the entire video talking about it. But something great like the big portal between New York and Dublin. There's a 24-hour feed, and an OnlyFans model closed it. Of course, it's not shocking. These e-girls ruining everything in society today, but I'm honestly shocked that it took this long for something to happen. Like, I know I've seen a couple videos like this one guy showing the screenshot of 9/11 throughout the portal, and I think it was, I don't know if it was from Dublin to New York, or it doesn't really matter. Regardless, it didn't take long for people to start doing really dumb things with the portal. But I'm shocked that it wasn't like within the first hour of it doing, like, you know, but I don't know what's to be done about this. I don't think that it should have been shut down. I don't know. I have conflicting views on the point. Again, let me know what you guys think about the entire situation down below. Moving on though, guys, I want to bring you back over to Unilab because I personally found this interesting and I would love to know what you guys, if you could, like, I know this probably won't happen, but comment down below what your average screen time is because people are shocked after finding out what the global average screen time is per day. So, and of course, like the text of this, it seems pretty clear that most of us could do with using our screens a lot less. I know this is actually crazy, so I'll bring you down to the article just a little bit. It is 6 hours and 58 minutes. Some people thought the number seemed a bit low with one writing, including my day job where I stare at multiple screens for 8 hours every day. Meanwhile, another posted, those are the rookie numbers. If that seems a little low, bear in mind that this is taking account of people who spend very little time at all with a screen. But if that's the average, including people with little to no screen time, then it says a lot for just how much time others are spending on their screens. People piled in the comments to share their thoughts on just how much time they would spend on their screens. Now, I don't know if this is going to expand because I actually didn't read the rest of this, but regardless, it doesn't matter. 6 hours and 58 minutes per day on average. That's crazy. So for my own screen share time, I wouldn't be able to share with you because my numbers are crazy skewed because I always have like a podcast or YouTube video listening in the background. I'm not necessarily looking at my screen. So mine's probably above 6 hours. That's my guess. That's just my guess because if I'm doing the dishes, if I'm working, I work in an office, so I'm listening to something in my own time. So my screen time is insane. It's probably above 6 hours. And I used to get the notifications from, I don't remember if it was YouTube, or my phone in general, but I used to get those notifications. Hey, might be time to take a break. And it's like, oh, why'd my video stop? And I wasn't even looking at the screen. Just, it's crazy to me how much people are actually spending time on their screens right now. It's crazy to me, but it's not shocking though. Not shocking. Now guys, I want to bring you over to a story that I found on Twitter, but it's kind of thrown around everywhere, and there is more to what Chris Hemsworth had to say with this, but I will read it to you. So Chris Hemsworth said it's annoying when actors who sign to star in a Marvel movie bash the MCU afterwards, and this was the big quote that came about from it. It's like, they're films that are successful, put me in one, oh, mine didn't work, I'll bash them. And I have always completely agreed with this, and I've always said this myself, and I'm sure that it's not like a unique thought. I'm sure that a lot of you watching this video might have said the exact same thing. I don't understand how these celebrities can't be more grateful for the roles that they are part in. And honestly, it makes me a little bit more respectful for Chris Hemsworth over here. You don't see Chris Hemsworth bashing the MCU after Thor Love and Thunder. I swear to God, I'm not just doing that where it's like, oh, I don't even remember what the movie name is. Like, it's actually some of my mind. I think it's Love and Thunder. It's been a long time since I've seen it personally. I don't mean to just be disrespectful in that sense, but you don't see him just consistently bashing the MCU or bashing the fans. He just moves on. He made some good movies. He made a bad movie. A lot of people didn't like Thor 1. I've never heard anything about Chris Hemsworth bashing the MCU or making fun of the fans. Cough, cough. Somebody like Brie Larson, you know? Sorry, again, guys. I'm still a little sick over here, but it's crazy to me that these celebrities aren't more grateful for the positions that they're in. Like, these people are making hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars. You want to be grateful for the project no matter what. As Chris Hemsworth said, they're films that are successful. Put me in one. Oh, mine didn't work. I'll bash them. Assess the situation. Maybe you need to act a little bit differently. Maybe it's the writing. There is a reason why your movie flopped, and it's not necessarily the MCU's fault. I know the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going crazy nowadays where it's just horrible movie after horrible movie, but they've had some secret bangers. Shang-Chi, Spider-Man No Way Home. There's things that have made it work. I even personally like Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, but it's really, really nice to see an actor, because you don't see it too often nowadays, and it's part of the reason why the blackout's happening. It's really nice to see somebody with actually a little bit of a level head on them. Moving on to the next topic, guys, I want to point you over to one of the videos on the screen right now because we are done with this video for today. The video on top, YouTube thinks so like the best. One down here is recapping everything that was trending from last week. Check them all out, guys. I will see you over there. Thanks for watching. Take care.